Hello. Hotep. Assalamu alaikum. Hola.
Alaikum salam rahmatullah barakatuhu. What y'all doing? We're going to talk about, tonight our topic is on the miseducation, the spiritual miseducation of the Negro. And we have Sister Auset. Introduce yourself, Sister Auset.
Hey, everybody. Hotep.
Hotep. You sound interesting.
And introduce yourself. We have Queen Erin, my goddaughter.
How you doing? Hey.
And then everyone else is on the line. Everybody else is on the line. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Hello? No one else wants to introduce themselves?
I guess that's everybody who wants to introduce themselves.
Okay, all right then. So,
this is Brother Kyle Sahu from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Okay, Brother Kyle, one of my favorite friends.
Yes, sir.
One of my favorite Facebook friends. and we have Brother Kyle, that's 5044. Brother Kyle, right?
No,
and then we have
that's
Earthbeauty, Wanda Farmer.
Okay, we have a 9358.
Yeah,
who's
that's Kyle. That's Kyle.
And we have a 5044. Who's that?
That's Earthbeauty, Wanda Farmer. Hey, Akbar.
Hey, how you doing, sister? How you feeling? All right, now we get ready to get into this now. Now, we have a long history of religion, or spiritual stories that black people told in ancient Kemet and throughout Africa that was used to bring people together and to motivate them under one, what we call a mythos. And everybody always knew that we never had a name for the supreme creator of nothing. I mean, of the universe. Of the universe and everything that it contains. We had no name. But we had deities wrapped all around this mythos to explain. We had what they call zoomorphic form. Zoomorphism.
That's right.
When you see animals and people combined, and you may see plants, you may see any type of thing, but they were just explaining the different aspects of creation and how it goes. Because nobody never, ever seen the creator, because it's a force. It's energy. And this is where everybody goes back to. When they, pass through from this body, their energy goes back to all the energy that's all around us. I mean, everything around us is energy. So we just go back. When they say you ascend, that they ascend, yes, the gases from your body and your spirit and everything, this energy ascends up, around, and everywhere, all around you. But these people have educated us because maybe they didn't know what we were talking about at first when they stole our religion, you know what I'm saying, and modified it with them on the Godhead. And this is the worst thing that ever happened, was them getting on the Godhead. Because once they got on the Godhead and made our people believe that God was in their image, the beginning of our spiritual enslavement, which spiritual enslavement is worse than physical enslavement. Now, a lot of people may say, Brother Akbar, why do you say that? Because when you're physically enslaved and chained up and beat down and everything, you know that you are not supposed to be in this condition. But when they done tricked you that they're God and God is in their image and their story of God is the only story that makes any sense in the world, everybody else's story is evil and it's not of the Creator, only story that's good as theirs, they're your God through proxy.
Mm-hmm.
See, they using this image, you know what I'm saying, to tell you them, but actually you're really worshiping them through proxy. You know, so I'll explain this. Anybody else have anything they want to say?
Well, no, I just agree with you. I agree with you. They never could understand us, our writing, our culture, and what they did understood they used for the enslavement of our minds, and the rest they just hide from us. They don't want us to know, because I know King James is a male-dominated book. Like, they wrote the female straight out the book, and she's the mother of us all. And I happen to know it. She's the mother of us all, and she's not even in that book. So that kind of woke me up a long time ago, and then they didn't want to answer a few other questions I had, and that's what made me start investigating and looking around for other things to wake me up.
Well, my dog is having a dog minute. But what's happening is,
Okay. Calm now.
Yeah, my dog calmed down now because his master just came to the door. You know, he get a little bit hyper. You know.
Oh, okay.
So he's a dog. Yeah. So what's going on is, you know, this deity that they first got onto the Godhead in Kemet, well, you know, today we call Egypt, was named Serapis. And Serapis, you know, they put him up there, but the Greeks really didn't understand the animal and people together form at first. They may have never even understood it. But putting the two animals together, they didn't understand that, so they didn't do their deity like that. They just gave him some Egyptian trappings, and they gave him like a bowl on top of his head that was supposed to be considered that he has weed in it, that he was feeding the people. And they merged him with Osiris. So even after they got it on there, and they outside of Egypt, they were more famous than in Egypt, because most of the people inside Egypt already knew that, you know, this here wasn't the right way to go, because the people have been practicing one way forever. But Serapis, Serapis became Amen, and his consort was Amen's wife, Isis, whose name is Auset, and then Horus became his son. So this is what they did. They when they got themselves on the Godhead, and they knew that once you get yourself on the Godhead, you can rule the world forever, almost, long as you on that Godhead. Because once people believe in you as the image of God, you know, it's really, you know,
it's brainwashed.
I mean, this is like, this is like the strongest thing that they can do to you is make themselves into the image of God. And they knew this because the God before them was us, and not because we were making ourselves God. We were the first people, and all we knew was us. So the image of, you know, the deities, you know, I'm not talking about the Creator, but God and the Creator is two different things. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But the
That's right. That's a big secret, too.
Yeah.
That's a very big secret.
Yes. The deities and God is two different things. So we never seen God. Even the Jews, so-called Jews, knew better to name God. They called him Elohim, O-E, you know, the creative force. So all these gods that we have, they're just men images or animal and men images mixed together to explain what we call Mother Nature or Meta Nature. And it's translated today as Mother Nature, the great Mother Earth, and the universe and everything. So what's going on is, as long as our people keep believing in these foreign religions, they're going to be controlled. Like these Muslim brothers, I used to be deep into Islam, and oh man, I would have chopped your head off for you to say something about Muhammad back in the day. I mean, I was that spaced out. I mean, it's so controlling that I've seen brothers go from, Afro-American dressing up in nice clothes and everything, to wearing skirts and dresses and stuff. I mean, you even see them here in Philly now. Some of them don't even know the one Arabic word, but they all wrapped up and dressed up, trying to look like Arabs and stuff. I mean, and I know somebody high up above us that knows had to be laughing. You know what I'm saying? The people that know the truth, the Masons, the secret order people that know the truth. I know they got to be rolling. Because sometimes I look at them and instead of, shaking my head, it's funny. You walking around, you got everything with a camel. You know what I'm saying? You got the staff. You got sandals on in the wintertime with leather socks. You got a skirt on, you know what I'm saying? And they told Muhammad didn't wear no underwear, so you ain't going to wear no underwear.
How would they know that?
I mean, That Muhammad never wore a pair of pants, so they don't want to wear pants. So they wear the skirt thing they tie around them. So just look at our people. You got some they following the Moors. You got to run around with big hats and tassels on. I mean, any religion they throw at our people, we gobble it up and go crazy. And that's what they noticed about us, that we were a very spiritual people, and they were able to use that against us. So our people are very spiritual. I don't have nothing against the Christians in the church. I love them. They're my brothers and sisters. And we have to eventually go in there and try to get them out of there, because I go every Sunday. I used to go into this church to try to teach metaphysics, but it's a hard job. I talked to the preacher 2 years before I even visited the church and let her know that I don't know all this stuff is, it's really fake. Gave her a couple books. And I heard her say out of her mouth to her congregation that Amen is the real name of the Supreme Creator. But when you leave them for a while, they slip back. You know what I'm saying? Especially the old ones, they slip back. They slip back into that old stuff. So you got to really stay with them, keep enlightening them and stuff. So, we got a hellified job. And it was not an easy job getting us like this. So I hope our people don't expect us to get out of this so quick. Because I used to be guilty of that. Well, when they going to wake up? When they going to wake up? Our people, I don't even like to say they're never going to wake up. Because to me, you pushing that negativity in the air, it took a long time for them to get us like this. No civilization on Earth has lasted longer than ours. And it's not been long since our civilization been going. A lot of people think it's been 50,000 years or so. The Moors just was in control of these Caucasians 900 years ago in Europe. Right. These religions, and I'm not just talking about the Western religion. I'm talking about these religious black people are making up, like the Moors and the Nubians and, this and that and all these different religions, and different soul stuff is nothing but it's a graft off of the lies that been fed to us. Like you got the Rastafarians. They still in the Bible, going back there talking about the lineage with Solomon and all that type of stuff, and and the Lion of Judah and all this stuff. We need to get away from all this stuff. These religions really got us messed up and separated. That's why we have a group. If you're on Facebook, our group is called Conscious Connect. Find your soulmate, or find you some knowledge up in there, one of the two. Now, a lot of people, I don't know how many people may have connected in there that way, but I know a lot of people connected inside our group with knowledge. It's a pretty nice group, but we have one group, no religion. It's the biggest rule in our group. No bashing black women, no bashing black men for no reason at all if you hate them or whatever. But if you're on Facebook, get in our group called Conscious Connect, Find Your Soulmate. And we have a group on Marcus Garvey. You can find it on my page, Akbar Ralston. We have a group called Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. You can get in there. You can read. There's so much information in there. You can be reading for days. And, we basically, me, Sister Auset, and Erin, and all these people that's on here are on the internet trying to give out knowledge to our people that's less fortunate. And it makes me feel so good when people come in my inbox. Like today, I think I might have had 4 or 5 people come in my inbox saying, thank you for the information, and thank you, I never knew this. And one girl came and said, I might not agree with everything you say, Mr. Akbar, but most of everything you say is true on that. Right. Because, it's hard. Truth is a hard pill to swallow. Very hard pill to swallow when you've been indoctrinated for years, in what you believe to be the only gateway to the Creator. Mm-hmm. And, it would be a very, 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 what can I say about the Creator? It would be not righteous just to make one people be the ones that hear you, and they got to go around the earth telling everybody else, why we can't hear you? What makes these people so special? So this is the problem. They knew that the religion was a control mechanism, and they used it to control, and the most controlled people on the face of the earth happen to be black people with religion. You could go away to Africa. In Africa, jet black, marching around with white gods, carrying white Marys. And, when they went in there, the British went in there, they sent the missionaries and the soldiers together. Go ahead, Sister Isis.
I don't know. I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah, we have definitely.
That's what happened. That's what happened over here in America. They put that white Jesus up on the cross, because I remember in Catholic school, 23rd and Berks, it was a white Jesus, and I got in trouble when I asked the nun, if Jesus was white, where did we come from? And I wasn't supposed to have been thinking like that. And then and then when we finally broke down some of the Bibles about the eyes of fire, hair of wool, feet of brass, they finally figured out that Jesus wasn't white, and then they put a black a man up on the cross, and then the secret society made them take it down, but they let them use their imagination that Jesus was black, and they kept hold of the white book, and that's why they still stuck in the suit that they stuck in, because they're getting the doctrine from the white book, even though they say now that Jesus was black. And his name is even incorrect. It was Yeshua. It wasn't Jesus. But, and it, like you say, it is
correct, because that's still a Greek word. Yeshua is still Greek. The Greek translation of Heru, which is the son of Auset and Auset.
The Greeks have pictures.
Not even Hebrew.
It's not even Hebrew. The Greeks got a picture, and the guy's name is Yahshua ben Patera, and he was executed as a political offender. They have a picture of him in the catacombs of underneath Rome. And what's happening is, like, they took this guy and they took the story of Heru and they combined it, and then they even took the story. Well, all the stories like Krishna, Heru, all of them were just different stories of a star. All this is the star up in the sky. On December the 25th, the star, the sun, what we call is pinned, like it's pinned in one place before it starts back on this southerly course. It's like 3 days and 3 nights. You pinned in the cave and all this stuff. So this pinning of the sun is nailing a human form, which represented the sun, a sun child, onto the celestial cross. Mm-hmm. So all it is just astrology and all that stuff. They never really understood it, and their understanding of it is increasing now. just like ours. And I read this book probably about 15 years ago called The Celestial Ships of the North. And a white woman read it. The book is about $50 or $60 now. And inside the book, she said that her name was Valencia Stratton. She said that the age of Aquarius is going to be the age of enlightenment for black people. And, I've noticed it, because like 15, 20 years ago, I wouldn't be having this conversation with nobody, too many people.
That's right.
We all on the internet talking about this and stuff. I mean, it was a lonely world 20 years ago when I had all this knowledge I couldn't talk about, going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I thought I was, but now you can call up friends and talk to them, and y'all could be kicking the knowledge. I mean, it's like, all of a sudden this thing just took off. And I see people gaining the knowledge. And like I walk through, when I come through the subway here, and I come through the subway, I had nothing on but my black, well, it was when I was a Black Panther, but my jacket, I got UNIA and everything on it. And I went to my aunt, and the brother stopped me that works there. And he stopped me, and he started kicking all this knowledge and stuff and about Haru and all that. And every time we had that booth, I never had to pay. I never had to pay to go on the subway. Just open it up, just go ahead, brother.
We are everywhere. Yeah. We are really everywhere. We're spread out. Yeah. We're everywhere.
Yeah, so what's happening is this thing, we're gonna win this war for the minds of our people. And we're gonna win this war. There's no way they can stop it as long as we keep practicing each one, teach one.
Well, we're in the light now. Brother Akbar, we're in the light now, because we was in the lunar stage. That was the dark, and that's when we didn't know it. Now everything in the dark is coming to the light now, and that's why everybody's beginning to wake up. It's a spiritual thing. It's the spirituality that we have in us is coming back, and thank goodness the other guy don't have any spirituality at all, because he's going to be the subject of our scorn. Mm-hmm. We're gonna wake up and take it all back. It's coming back.
Well,
happening.
I'm kind of like Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey really didn't worry about the cracker. He worried about uplifting black people. Now we can spend all our time talking about the cracker, but we got men being locked down, women being locked down, children being locked down. I mean, they're doing everything to us that you could think of right now. And our people just sitting up like, and I'm waiting for them to go crazy. Because, I'm just figuring, when is black people going to stand up? I mean, they just grabbing people. They taking body parts now. The boy that got killed, they only got killed in school. And when they go to exhume his body, his parents, he got newspaper stuck up in him. They took his body parts, sell it to some white folks that need a body parts.
Yeah.
So,
but
it's getting critical.
They've been stealing the placenta after you have a newborn. You notice they don't say nothing about the placenta. They take that and send it to the research category, and that's where they try to catch up with the melon, because they really, after our melon, they know that's part of the requirements to get into our hereafter. You got to have a third eye, the chakras, melon, the pineal gland. And if you don't have that, you can't get up in there. But I'm glad our people are waking up.
It's been going on for a long, long time. Even before, I was watching today, it says Slavery by Another Name. This white man made a book and a movie, a documentary about right after the Civil War, when they passed that law, they made laws in the South for blacks. So you can't even walk down the street. You would get locked up, and they would sell you right back to these companies for the chain gang and different, it was called like a peony system, where they would say, you're in a debt and you owe me, and they slave you in and teach you with their religion to keep you set in that mind frame and then in what they want you to do. And it's really crazy. I mean, we've been taught this system of religion through slavery. They would make us stand there while the master would say, this is in the Bible, that you are servitude, perpetual servitude. So this has been taught to us through generations and generations. And what we have to do is
break that chain and that cycle. That no, we are not slaves, and know that we are not the white man's perpetual servants, and that's what we're trying to come up out of now. So this goes even farther and farther back. I mean, I'm still young. I'm only 37, but it deeply touched me because I'm like, well, dang, I see this every day that people still in that slavery mindset that this is how it's supposed to be, and we're supposed to be in this perpetual servitude state, and that's not how it's supposed to be. We got to wake up to the light. I'm telling you.
And I'm telling everybody, I know we a lot of us Facebook junkies on Facebook and just on Facebook, but not coming out into the streets to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And until you can come out in the streets, Facebook is not going to save us. We can get knowledge and share knowledge with brothers and sisters from Facebook, but you got to come off of Facebook, join some organization somewhere, and fight the fight. Because we got to fight our people. We're going to be fighting in these organizations. We're going to be fighting these elders until we can get this thing, going the way it's supposed to be going to free the minds of our people. Because, I mean, I've been in a long almost 2-year battle just trying to exist in the organization because a lot of our elders, they ain't got computers. They ain't on computers. They ain't really reading, and they still stuck. But they did the best they could. And I'm sending praises up to them, for them because they did the best they could. But now the new generation, with all this new knowledge, needs to apply it so our people will learn. And the best way to keep brothers and sisters out of jail is to educate them before they get to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Educate the youth. They got these things set up.
Yeah. What's that guy's name? His name is Richard Allen. Richard Allen got 33 pieces of. Richard Allen got
somebody's 33 making noise in the background. I let. Hold on for a minute. I'm sorry, brother. I just let 2265492 in. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Damn, y'all can hear me?
Yes. It's 612-226-5492. Is this Miranda?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? Introduce yourself, sister.
I'm good.
Yes. Hello?
Oh, you want to introduce yourself? Okay, go ahead, brother.
Yes, my name is Ross. Yes, I think I just saw the number on Facebook as a status. I just decided to call in to see what's going on, what's it about.
Oh yeah. We're talking about the spiritual miseducation of the Negro, and and the Negro is not really by itself. The Mexicans, everybody they conquered, they made themselves gods to them, and they destroyed their civilization. Now we're not the only people that these people have destroyed. Every other people you see that's around us, the Asians and all, and they destroyed their, ancient knowledge and everything, and trying to put themselves as gods. I mean, once they got that Serapis up there, he died out after a while, but then they came back when Constantine came back. They introduced this new Jesus, Serapis, as Jesus the Christ. And they wrapped that story around them and they sold that to the people, and that one was a winner for them. You know what I'm saying? Because Serapis was just a prototype. He was just a prototype. Then you have all these other crucified saviors. Osiris was crucified. All of them were crucified and nailed to stars. Because they're nothing but stars. It's just the constellation. They were our ancestors were explaining. Yeah. And if they would have saved us, now they said that one of the worst things ever done to man was when these priests destroyed the codex over here in what we call Mexico today. When they destroyed all them ancient codex and all that ancient knowledge, because the knowledge was universal around the world. When you see all these, what you call the Aztecs, the Olmecs, and all that, it was all African people. America was full of African people. I mean, everybody that come over here and no shit, it doesn't even make any sense that all these millions of black people spread all around the world within some slave ships. It doesn't even make any sense. And then they tell you that half of the cargo will always die in the Middle Passage. I mean, and then they got 146 million in Brazil. They got about over 100 million in South America. And right here in these Americas where we at, in Canada, we probably got about 70 million. Now, all these black folks, now where's all the white folks at all around? I mean, where's all them at in all these different places that they were here too? Yes.
Well, they wasn't even they were still in the cave. They wasn't even established. You know, they wasn't established until about the year 300 AD. They got established, and that's when they started chasing after our lineage and heritage and stuff. But what I wanted to say was during part of that slavery, transatlantic slave stuff, Richard Allen made a deal with the devil and said that he would teach the people the devil's religion, and that's how they got their little number and all that stuff. And they run, you know, that's who runs City Hall today. They all in that secret organization to make sure that the devil's religion is sound and produced.
But tell me a little bit about Richard. Tell me a little bit about Richard Allen, because you keep on mentioning Richard Allen, and you're not telling them who he is, man, and you ain't telling them where he's from.
Well, you must know where he's from. I don't know exactly where he's from.
Richard Allen is the man that had projects in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's from Philly. Richard Allen.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, he's from Philly, and him and his boys, they made a pact with the devil that if you allow them to have a certain amount, that they would teach the slaves the white man's religion. And
well, what happened with Richard Allen, my brother, is that the whites would not let them sit nowhere but in the balconies of the church. They couldn't come down with the whites or nothing like that. They were having racism in the church. So he went and made the first black church, the African Episcopal Church here in America, Richard Allen. Now, I don't know about how many deals he made with the devil, but them devils was already teaching that stuff back in slavery before he came around.
Before we got on the ship, I can recall a story. When a brother I know of, I won't mention his name, he has his own radio show, but he took a trip to the door of no return. Y'all help me out. That's in West Africa.
Yeah.
Ghana. Slave, that's in Ghana. Okay. Mm-hmm. He took a trip there, and he wrote a letter back while he was in Ghana, talking about how as they before we got on the ship, before they captured us, they would take us to this church, and they would put us in front of the white Jesus. It's actually a church over the dungeon where they kept the slaves. And as they kept us in the dungeon, they would indoctrinate us with the white Jesus. They would take us to this church, and we had to confess Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior before we got on their ship to come here to America. And
then they would brand you there too.
Yeah. He mentioned that.
And they made this movie called Sankofa. That's about it. If you haven't seen Sankofa, get yourself a copy. It's a wonderful movie. Sankofa. Yes, the wonderful movie Sankofa. And then like a lot of people just identify with that one in Ghana, but they had one in Sierra Leone too. It's much in ruins and stuff. So, they have a lot of slave ports going about Africa, and believe it or not, our people sold us. A lot of us don't want to say that, but Africans sold us to these white folks. They
got conquered, we were being conquered way before the slave trade. So we were being divided up, a couple thousand years before the slave trade. So there was division after division. Some tribes are only 800 years old. So that's when the division came in, and we were fighting amongst each other. So of course, for one king to preserve his tribe, he had to sell another tribe away because he was trying to protect his own. So a
lot of it wasn't for protection, because when the Europeans first came there, they didn't have superior firepower that made the Africans, run, nothing like that, before they got that Gatling gun, or what they call the Maxim gun. We call it the Gatling gun. And what happened is, when they started, once they got that, that's when they were able to dominate Africa. But before then, it was chiefs selling for rum, selling them for mirrors, trinkets, all kinds of things. And a lot of people say that when we were escaping, coming from down Egypt after the Arab slave trade, and we were in foreign different lands in Africa, that these people didn't recognize us, they didn't know us, and we were just foreigners to them, and they sold us. Because, they different tribalism. Because tribalism, as far as I'm concerned, tribalism is what destroyed Africa. Just like we have tribalism today in the hood.
It's the same thing as religion. It's the same thing. They go hand in hand. Tribalism and religion. The same concept. One to dominate the other for control.
Yes. So, we've been. Now, what we need to do is we need to just keep teaching our people, each one teach one, keep that philosophy going, keep learning as much as you can learn, so you can use it to wake up our people, get out here, get in an organization, get active. We got a lot of brothers and sisters that's incarcerated now. And I would like to see some people just get together and write them letters and stuff. Let them know there's people out here that's still bumping and grinding for them out here, because, we're living in the belly of the beast, and the beast is consuming us. As he's going out, he wants to take us with him.
Oh, yeah. And that's just the bottom line. His time is winding up, definitely.
He knows it. He knows that his time is winding up all over the world. I mean, when you see this guy putting cameras and drones and satellites up in the air so he can look, he's scared, because it's not that easy to be an oppressor as we think it is. Because you always got to be watching, because the people that you oppress may rise up. So being an oppressor is not no easy job. That's why you see them when someone like Chris Darden, the brother of somebody, act up, or shoot down another police or so-called official of the law to this, they go crazy. I mean, they go crazy hunting them down. They call it a manhunt. And they hunt them down like a wild, and, I mean, they be animated, even the black police. I remember one time they tried to run through the house I was in. I'm like, well, hold it. What y'all want here? We thought we see somebody run through here. I said, look, you ain't got to bust nothing down. I go open the door. You can look. Ain't nobody in here. And they turned around and went the other way. They ain't even coming out. They just wanted to bust up something. They like the damn firemen. If you got fire, you can have a doggone little fire, and they come and chop the door down, break the windows out and everything. You like, damn, I could have put that fire out with a cup of water. I tell you, it's crazy. But, our people, and I hope everybody that listened to the show tonight, because we've been ready to get off air, learn something, and was inspired, and you could come to Sister Auset.
Please be inspired to do some research, everybody. Please be inspired to. Google is your best friend. What we're talking about tonight, you can type in Google, Auset, Asar, Serapis. You can type this stuff in, and all kinds of information will come up. Books, research, libraries that have preserved some research, all of this stuff is just one click away. There's no excuse in the information age for us not to be informed. We know we were brought here against our will, forced into a servitude role, been at a servitude role. The brother's talking about all of our brothers and sisters being locked up. The justice system was another way to re-enslave us. If you look up right after slavery, those laws that got passed, the Black Code, followed by the Jim Crow. So we definitely we have been held hostage for a long time now. And like the brother said, it's a time for us to awaken. This is a time of enlightenment. And so, yeah, definitely do your research.
Mhm.
Give us the name of some of those. Yeah. What? Yeah. Give us the name of some of those. Some of those names of the groups that's on Facebook that we can get into and dialogue with. You named them at the top of the.
Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, Conscious, Connect, and what's the other ones?
Conscious People Connect, Find Your Soulmate. Conscious People Connect, Find Your Soulmate. And the other one is the Conscious Souls Collective.
Mhm. And I got Conscious Little Kings and Queens and Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. That's my favorite group.
There you go.
And then you got Sister Auset. You might want to tell you her page. You can go on her page. And you got Brother Carr here. Brother Carr be hardcore on Facebook, teaching the people.
Yeah.
You still with us, Brother Carr?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah. Brother Carr, you have to send me a request.
Okay.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, I'm glad you told me so I know who you is when you get on there, because I don't let everybody in. You got to kind of pass my test to get in here, because, I mean, all kind of people was trying to jump in on my page.
We have that problem.
Yeah, yeah, but, I ask them, I just tell them that I'm trying to uplift the people. I'm not here to be making friends with the white Jesus, nothing. I'm here for the revolution of to uplift the black people, the black race. Yeah. And then they just kind of fade on in the background. And I cut them out.
Mhm. Yeah, because our people is on the move mentally. Now we need to do it physically. So that's the physical, first. I mean, because this is how it goes. Marcus Garvey came, the greatest leader we ever had. He had nothing. His shoes was turning side to side. He got up on the ladder and the soapbox down in Harlem and started talking. And then the people started listening, and then the people started to follow his leadership, and they started to build. So it all started out with a word. And what they say, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. That's what they said. So so I want to say, "Let there be." Let there be evolution. I don't like to say revolution, because revolution is going around in a circle. I like to say evolve, evolution.
Yeah.
Evolve out of this mindset, evolve about a nigritude, and evolve about a white supremacy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yes. But white supremacy is the enemy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even some white people is against white supremacy. Because they know at the end, white supremacy is going to get them killed. At the end of the day, white supremacy is going to get them killed. Because once they know they get down point, and when they get weak, and the people remember what they did, they're going to slaughter them, brother. And they know that. They did it to a whole bunch of them. Like Mussolini. The Mussolini, his own people killed him in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He attacked Ethiopia, the last sovereign African country that wasn't invaded and took over.
He had that coming. Mussolini was killing those black Russians left. I mean, he murdered in the millions of black Russians.
He murdered, and also the black Ethiopians. Mussolini murdered a lot of them.
Yeah, he chased them out of their land.
I had a picture on Facebook where they had about 100 of them hanging at one time.
Wow. Well, people talk about the Jewish Holocaust. The Jewish Holocaust, you have nothing on our Holocaust. We've been.
Well, I'm a Holocaust denier, but it don't make no. I done went over this Holocaust thing so many times, it doesn't even make any sense. And
really?
I say that they stole the story of the Herero people. that in Africa who was really Holocaust.
Okay.
Who really rode in boxcars? Who really was marched from one side of their country to the next side through the desert and all that stuff. So, and the concentration camp was islands off of Namibia. The island off of Namibia, because that's where the Herero people come from, Namibia. Look up the Namibian Holocaust, and you'll see what the real Holocaust was. And that stuff they be throwing on us is nothing but a bunch of malarkey to get that, so they can get their foothold in Israel, which was no Israel until 1947. There was no place on the earth named Israel.
Right.
That's the land of Canaan, them and the Arabs, both as invaders of that land. There's still black people over there right now today. And I ain't talking about ones that came from America. I'm talking about indigenous black people over there in Israel is Africa. All that Middle East is Africa. There's no such thing as